Hi friends, so our circle activity for this week is our shape pizza. So we are going to make a pizza using different shapes. So our shapes that we have are circles, we have triangles, we have green, what are those? Green squares, and then we have yellow rectangles, and then brown ovals. Those are the shapes that we are going to be using to make our shape pizza. And then look, when we are a chef, because remember, we're talking about restaurant and food this week. A chef uses, and remember, a chef is a person that cooks the food at a restaurant. So a chef cooks the food at a restaurant, and the chef uses a recipe. A recipe is something that tells us what ingredients we use and how much we need. So we have our recipe for our shape pizza. This is our shape pizza recipe. So on our recipe, it's going to tell us what we need to make our pizza. So your recipe that you have might be a little bit different than the one I have. So as always, the way to do this activity might be different depending on the skill set of your child. So the first way to be able to do this activity is just to be able to hold up one shape. So this is just working on basic following directions and getting your child to attend. So the first thing I might do is just hold up the circle and say, look, it's a circle. Get circle. And then you would be able to either have the child get the circle on their own. If they're unable to independently do it, you would provide either the elbow prompt or the wrist prompt. If they're still unable to get the circle, then you would provide the hand-over-hand assistance. Once they have the circle in their hand, you would say, put on pizza. And hopefully they're able to do it independently. If they're not able to, then you would provide prompting or a gestural prompt, maybe point to the pizza, and then provide the elbow prompt, wrist prompt, or hand-over-hand assistance to place the shape on the pizza. So you would do the same thing with the next shape, and maybe you just focus on circles because you want to teach them the circle. So maybe you could do all the circles, and then once you get all the circles onto the pizza, then you can work on counting all the circles. So that would be a nice suggestion, is just do all the shapes at once. So once you get all the circles on, you could say, let's count our circles. Ready? And remember, we're gonna point our finger and work on one-to-one correspondence. So you're gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do, and you can provide hand-over-hand assistance to allow them to count the circles on their own. The next way to do it, instead of just holding up one shape, you can work on receptively identifying the shapes. So you could hold up a circle and a square, and you could say, okay, I want you to get circle. If they're unable to receptively identify the item or the shape on their own, maybe push the circle a little closer and say, get circle. If they're still unable to do that independently, you could provide a gesture prompt. If they're still not successful, provide the wrist prompt or the elbow prompt. And if they're still not successful, provide hand over hand to get the correct shape. And then you can continue to do that with all of the different shapes. And once they get the shapes on the pizza, then you can work on counting the different shapes. So maybe you just work on counting the circles once the shapes are on. So you could say, okay, let's count all of our circles. Are you ready? Let's count them using our pointer finger. 1, 2, 3. Good job. And then once you're all done counting your circles, maybe count your squares. Let's find our squares. Look, I see a square here and a square here. Let's count our squares. Ready? And you can count together. Maybe you can hold your child's finger and count 1, 2. Now you do it. And continue to do that until you've completed all the shapes. So the last way to do it is actually going to be using our recipe card. So what I would suggest, and the children that can use the recipe card will be able to have all of the shapes like this laid out. And what you're going to do is say, look at our recipe card. The first thing on our recipe card says 3 circles. So each child does have a different recipe card. So on my recipe card, it says 3 circles. So I'm going to find 3 circles. So this is working on one-to-one correspondence and shape identification. So look, this is a circle. We need to find 3 circles. So again, yours is going to have a different number than mine. So I'm going to get 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. And if your child is struggling to get the number, you can model it for them first, like I just did. So you can show them, look, this is getting 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. And then we can count them together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And then do that for the rest of them. And then once you guys make your pizza, you can go through and you can find all the shapes that you have, identify the shapes you have, and count the different shapes that you have on your pizza. And make sure that you guys send me a picture or a video of your finished shaped pizza so I can see what great chefs you are. And I hope you guys have a great day today, and I will see you later. Bye.